5 and 10, forbid, exist and never hit. You can't know one bread decree, you can't fence infinity. This is what they feel to see. I ain't free, I just be, yeah. We American, but not free. Let the law now, liberty, say dream, but charge up.
Episode 4. Yes, I know it's the first one that I actually say that's the episode. I normally put it in the thumbnail, but we're on episode 4, and today we're going to be talking about gearing from the perspective of a newer player. It could be complex sometimes if you don't really know what you're doing, right? But again, when you're also a new player, the problem you run into is that you don't necessarily off rip have the right gears, because again, you haven't unlocked where. Let's just go over where you can get them. Cartosian triangle, or you're in a lower level of Disa caves, right? Primarily for Disa caves. Before we get to all of that, you want to get to where you start getting white gears, and this is where you want to save your stamina for. But if there's an event that requires you to utilize your stamina, right, where you're going to benefit from, especially as of recording, right? I like to say this because somebody may be watching this in the future. It is beneficial to utilize that stamina because it counts towards your points here, right, in this one. And some of the events that they have around, but maybe, I don't remember if the Christmas one has something similar to this, but again, you kind of want to use your stamina. But again, if you're not within the anniversary or within a space where you need to utilize it, I would save it for when you get to the point where you can start unlocking white gears, which is legendary, right? But that's primarily the two places you get gear. You can get gears from here, but you're going to use them for a little bit, and eventually you'll move on to the other gears, right? Of course, when it comes to gearing, right, depending on what you're running, there's 2 sets and then there's 4 sets. Each one give you an additional effect, right? And then of course, later on down the road, I should say, you can temper out your gears to Immortal 1 all the way up to Immortal 4. Of course, you're going to need additional resources to do that, but right now don't focus too much on that. It's just based off of what you have. Now, before we hop into the gears themselves, you want to talk about the heroes. The heroes themselves, they do damage primarily 2 ways. For instance, we have Ravenna here. Her damage is based off of what? Attack, right? So whenever she's gonna do damage, you need to focus on her attack, right? Another side of it is HP. So tanks, vanguards, sometimes summoners, they do damage based off of their max HP. As you can see here, dealing damage to all enemies around equal to a percentage of his max HP or her max HP. But tanks, vanguards, and sometimes summoners, and of course support, they're based off of max HP too. So I don't think there's any support that does damage based off of attack, right? And if we're in a future, right, where you're watching this and there is, then you know what to focus on. And with that being said, you got to keep in mind, for a new player, we don't have access to everything that we would ideally want to build out the heroes. Again, this is not the best gear for her, but I have to use what I have. For instance, here, I didn't have anything else with crit rate, right? And with that being said, heroes that can crit, right, you want 100% crit rate. For her, it's a different situation, right? We'll talk more about that in a second. We'll say, for instance, here we have tanks. Tanks is another set of heroes. They crit, but their ultimates don't, right? So again, that's going to be the question of, do you put HP on your tanks? Where a new player may not even have the commander, right? So if you're a newer player, I would focus more on HP, but later on, eventually you can get to a point where you can build crit-based tanks, right? Because once you have, what is it called? What is their commander called? I'm completely blanking on it. I know it. Abek. There it is. Abek. And they do the knockdowns. Once they hit the ground, Abek makes them crit. So again, it's going to be based off of their crit rate, right? So again, For an attack-based unit, generally they crit outside of vanguards, right? You want to get to 100% crit rate. How do you get there? It depends on your gears. You can also have a trophy, like if you spend, obviously, there's two of the anniversary trophies give you, I think it comes up to 10%. There's that. There's also talent, right? Talent is another way where you can gain some additional crit rate. I don't know why he doesn't have that. That don't even make any sense. But again, that's a part of the game, right? Talents, you can get crit rate off of your commander, and obviously once you get to a point where you can unlock gems, you can gain crit rate there. So again, 100% is a goal. When it comes to crit damage, go crazy if you can, right? Don't focus too much on that, because again, most heroes, they start out with some crit damage, right? They have a base rate. It differs. It depends on the hero, right? It said differ. What am I talking about? But again, that is that there, right? The breakdown of how it works. If I miss anything, let me know that in the comments. And another thing before we continue, if these videos help you, make sure you hit the like button. And two, if you have an issue, feel free to let me know down in the comments, right? Reach out to me. I feel like a lot of people, they reach out to me and say, I don't want to bother you. You're not bothering me. If you're talking about Eternal Evolution, you ask me a question, you're not bothering me, because that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you, right? So let's move on. So we're going to pick two heroes, right? One that's based off of HP. We could do Summoner, right? And one that's based off of attack. So for instance here, Dorelli. Dorelli is a special case because again, eventually she'll get to the point where she has an awakening, and also a point where she has a super breakthrough. As you can see, they're both lightening up there. But for Dorelli, she is a summoner that does, we'll talk about that in a second. She's a summoner that does damage based off of, yes, I haven't even started gearing her. I can just hear it. Why do you have accuracy? Yeah, that's also another thing too, but we'll get to that. It does damage based off of her max HP. And she converts it into Dorgon. Dorgon does damage based off of that, but that's later on down the road. But with her, primarily you want to focus on HP. So let's talk about the boots, the helm, and the gloves. So the gloves here is where you can get HP attack, crit damage. These are the ones that have the percentage, and what's the other one? Attack for HP. Yeah, let's just go over it again. Crit damage, crit rate, attack, HP, and the rest don't even matter, right? With a helm, accuracy, these are the ones that you want to focus on. Accuracy, HP, attack, and the rest does not matter. For the boots, attack and damage reduction. That's it. Everything else. Oh, and attack speed. How can I forget about the hunters, right? So again, for her, she could be geared multiple different ways. Of course, if you ever need suggestion, right, you go into the strat here, and then they recommend what gears you can run. So this is another way. If I don't get to a certain unit, you can come to the strategy and you can see where to position the hero and also what gears to run on them. Sometimes it's not always ideal because they'll list something here and then they're missing one of the things that you need, right? So here she's primarily focused around HP, right? Higher HP, more damage she's going to do, the more Dorgon's going to do, right? So again, with these ones, as you can see, I already have white gears. I don't have enough gear, and this is what happens when you're a new player. You don't have enough gears, but sometimes I go down to red because the red is more beneficial than it is for me to put in white gear there, because in this situation I just don't have enough because I haven't farmed enough. So new player struggles, right? So again, where her, you could go crit rate here, HP and HP. With this accuracy sitting in front of my face, I have to talk about that because some heroes, they need accuracy to activate certain things. So for instance, some tanks, they need high accuracy to activate the knockdowns, and also vanguards need it to stun. And I think who else? Support also need accuracy for whatever effect that they have going on, right? Higher their accuracy. Like someone, I think someone like a Lu. Let's see here. Yeah, see right here. Depending on a Lu's accuracy, max effect at 200 accuracy. I love that. I love when they explain it. Sometimes they don't explain the max amount, so you have to play this game of, is this enough, right? And of course, accuracy you can get from, let's go back because we have to talk about that too. Can I show it here? Do I not? I don't even have access to it. I can't even show it. But your guild tech, you can get accuracy from there, attack, crit damage, and also HP. I'll probably put it up here from my main account. But again, that's another way to gain some additional stats. You can also gain stats here from trophies, right? So again, the stats are all there. You just have to understand what it is. So let's go to attack-based unit. For attack-based units, you want to work on crit rate and of course attack. Don't worry too much about crit damage here. Only exception is tanks and vanguards. And someone like, I actually have him here. Someone like Ares, he's a little bit different because again, he converts crit damage into attack and also HP. So it's a little different there. But again, for your attack-based units, you want to get these two here, right? Tempered when you can do it. But again, here's my Billy. So now we're going to talk about the different types of sets. There's 4 sets. As you can see, Billy has here 2 sets, which is Sun Signet. Actually, we can show it here. The best place to show the sets, so you can go in here and see all the sets. These are the sets. The ones you want to focus on is, I'll just highlight them. Sun Signet, Overload. Obviously, depending on if your unit needs accuracy, you want, and they're all labeled too, which is awesome. They have Hawkeye, Vigorous, Blessed later on, because you're not gonna have it. Zephyr for the hunters. They increase the attack, you're gonna move away from it. Eventually you'll get to a point where you just don't use it, because again, they're 2 sets. So most heroes are gonna run 4 sets, right? The only exception would potentially be Dora, but that's later on down the road, so don't focus too much on that. But again, you're primarily gonna go down to your 4 sets. These are the Ancient Altar 4 sets. You'll use them in the beginning, but after a while you'll stop using them because they have a better version of them in the 4 sets. So let's move on to the 4 sets. We have the Ruler of the Truth sets, which is Burst. That's more for units that stay in your backline and they can hit all the way to the other backline. Surge is more about your ultimate, of course, you can see it all there. And Realm, you're not going to use. You're just not going to use these 3 on the right side here. These ones, you're not going to use them, so they end up being converted into other resources. Madness, this is for your summoners, of course, and Extraction works for Dorelli, but that's primarily for PvP. So again, with Dorelli, it's a little bit different because you kind of want to do it's early, because most units in PvE, like bosses, they don't crit rate. They don't do crit damage. There we go. That's what the word I'm looking for. So primarily as summoners, you want to have Madness. The thing about Madness is that you need to temper it out. If not, if you're running your Gobo or who else? The Foxes, they're all going to end up dying fast because Madness untempered, they have a decay effect. Fade Out has a decay effect, so you want to put this on units that are going to revive, right? That have a revival. Marauder, this is more about lifesteal, and of course, if you do displacement, doesn't work well with Vanguards because Vanguards, they do displacement, but they don't crit. This is more for your assassins and any other units that do displacement, right? Great. When they're Rebirth and Charge. Rebirth, you're probably not going to end up using that because you have a better alternative, because that's more about healing. A better alternative for your support, because I'll talk about that in a second. For the Charge, it's also another 4 set. This is more for your Vanguards, right? Unleash is for the Hunters. Bug Gear is for anywhere that there's going to be bug enemies. That's more for PvE. You want to get you some bug gears, and have to be bug. I wish it would come out with Deity, right? I just don't understand why they didn't do that. And they could have come out with, what's another one? Robots or something, anything that the bosses are. It would have been nice to have a 2 set for. And of course, Opportunistics is for the tanks, and Resonance is for any unit that you want to rush their ultimate. So if you have a unit that needs a quick ultimate, you definitely want to put resonance on them. But earlier on, you would have to go to get to, I think it's 35 dash whatever the number is for Katosian Triangle. Just know that you got, I think either it's 35-40. You have to get all the way up to that to unlock Katosian Triangle. This is where most of the 4 set lies, and it's the gear that you would need to beat the enemy, right? So say for instance you use energy here, we get summoner base gears, right? Because here it's attraction and also madness, and here it's surge and what burst. So it's the opposite. So again, if you're wondering which gear to go for, again, and they're listed here, so they'll tell you which one you're going to get and what it's good for. So just keep in mind for the 4 sets. For me primarily, this is where I want to go, right? The switch, we'll just put some action in here, right? But the switch, as you can see, when you have your subsets activated, it goes against your hero. As you can see, Bergman there has all vigorous, right? That's the symbol. You see Billy, he has crit rate. We can actually change him here because again, he has his marauder set, and he'll activate that, which is great for him because he does do displacement. Even though he's not a assassin, he does do displacement, and the lifesteal will definitely help him out a lot. So let's switch this here. I did end up getting that. I now have a target for another one, but that's for another video. For here, it's tough. It's tough because I want to sit Bergman, but Bergman's here for the heals. I don't trust these 2 in the back to heal at all. I just don't trust them. So we're gonna switch over to this, and we're going to take out her, and we'll put Deji in there, because the reason why I'm pushing this one, because again, I want to get the madness gear for Deji. As you can see, her gears are not the greatest at all. I think this is attack. Okay, at least I got some attack there, and as you can see, look at what I gotta use to get crit rate, right? So again, you gotta use what you have, right? But we'll go through this one. Kara, sure, you want that? No, actually, yeah, let's go here and switch this one over. Actually, no, I like that one. That one should be okay. Can we beat this? And of course, with this boss, can you hurry up and kill him? So he's gonna jump. Someone was saying that I didn't mention that you need to get him to Awaken 3. Yes, you need to get him to Awaken 3 to activate his Awaken 3, so he can steal HP. And they're not gonna kill him. So he's stunned here. Who has stun? Who the heck has stun? There we go. See, and this is one of the problems that I run into with this guy, because he's not doing enough damage because the HP that he stole isn't enough, and then you have her that's healing in his face. Somebody's stunning him. That's Serena. Can she stun? I can't remember off the top of my head if she stuns, because I haven't used her in years, literally years. So see here, and he can't kill Serena. Okay, thank you. My goodness, about time you woke up. You were just there asleep. Okay, so it's over now. Wow. Okay, should be done here. Dead. Okay. Ooh, man, when he can't steal a lot of HP, it takes a lot of time. That's what I'm dealing with right now. But anyways, let's go into here. Bergman needs to heal. Billy, I like to control him because when he drops, he spins his knives, and we lost Smith. Oh, no. Now I remember. Nope. Now I remember. Take Smith out. That's what it was. I remember now. I have to take out Smith. I completely forgot about that. Because when he dies, right, and he goes into the turn's going to get blown up automatically. Rookie mistake there. No, and maybe that's what it's going to end up being. This and the Rally, no, but she's going to end up dying. Trojan, Wukong, none of these units. Yeah, his things are going to die. Ravenna, no. Orin, no. It's like I need another unit here. Who could we bring? You know what? Because they don't hurt. Fine. We end up going back to where we were anyways. Okay. So the foxes, they'll blow up, but we're not worried about them because they'll come back to life. Right? Yeah. Okay. There we go. Now we're cooking. So this is why I manual him, because if I don't, I want to manual him because he does this thing that I don't like, and he's actually taking a lot of damage here. And Daisy's just not doing nothing yet. She's still in her slumber. And I'm just here for the gears, right? Bergman's not healing fast enough because I can see Billy's already on his second cheat death there, which is bad. And because he's not a natural displacement unit, he tend to have to wait. Do they have? He doesn't activate lifesteal until he goes into his cheat death. But he naturally he gets it once he teleport. Wait, what is happening? It's like I feel like it's the foxes that are dying. I'm seeing the green drop and I'm like, who's dying? Well, the foxes themselves are not really doing much. And the thing is too, I don't recommend running Daisy with yet this early with madness until you temper it out. So until you get to a point where you can temper it out, I wouldn't even bother. I would put it there, but I would run a different set of gears because the foxes themselves are just gonna end up dying. And if the foxes are dead, she doesn't go into her invisibility state. I always say invincibility. But again, we're going along nicely because again, right now we're not at the level where we can get the the tickets. Maybe not even the diamonds, but again, more about beating it because when you first time clear some of these modes, you get some additional rewards, which is going to ultimately help. And this thing is not. Oh, well, we can beat it. We just have to survive. If we survive, we beat it. If we don't, if Bergman dies, then it is what it is. It'll be the end of that. And see, this is the other thing I don't like about the Billy Berg combination is that Billy tend to jump outside of the, what do you call that? Okay, I was just about to get that guy. He jumps out of the circle. So an awakening for Bergman, might as well put it out there because it's one of the boys, would be nice if his circle gets bigger, right? And healing is increased, and also you do double damage inside of that circle. It increases your damage. Or AoE, not AoE. I want it to be damage. Right? So, beat it. Okay? Again, AG didn't really do much, but this is what I was talking about where you get this, right? Which is awesome. You get these as you beat through it, the higher you go, the more of these, and that's what you need to temper out your gear. So see, again, once you beat it again, you get an additional amount, and this is now entering into level 2, and of course you get 12 of level 1. So if I beat this one, I'll already have enough to temper out my gears. But again, to go back to it, just keep in mind that the fundamentals are attack or HP, damage reduction, attack speed on the boots, attack, accuracy, or HP. Those are the 3. There's other ones, but don't even bother wasting time. Defense, no, don't even bother. Just turn that into materials for tempering. Over here, crit rate, crit damage. Crit damage will come along later on, but primarily crit rate, attack, and HP over here. For these ones up here, try to get the substats. How could I completely forget about substats? I know it's late in the video and I miss talking about substats. So pay attention to what the gear has to offer, right? Because some gears, they'll give it a lower grade, but actually it's the one you want to use. So for instance here, I just tempered this out for the 20% increase in attack. This is a terrible, I would not waste temper materials on this particular gear here. So I'm not going to go past level 1. I'm going to have to get another one. It started out great because they had crit rate, crit damage, and it hits extra defense and crit damage reduction, right? This one is okay a little bit. I wish that HP was attack would have been fine, or the defense was attacked, would have been okay, right? So for his temper gear, you see this one is ranked at S, but we rolled into critical damage reduction. I don't like the fact that I had to go through that. Here again, we started out decent, but this one is actually not bad. I would actually temper this one, but again, it's the boots. But tempering is for another video, right? Let me know how you feel about that, if you want me to go over tempering. And I think in the next episode, again, I feel like whenever I do these, I have to go back to the basics. Someone also asked me about PvP. I don't think I'll be able to show it here because, again, I'm not really at the point where I can, showcase that, because my team's just my team. It's what I use. Is it the best team? No. And he has Deji too, so yeah, probably gonna lose this one, but give it a shot, and then we get on out of here, because I see that he doesn't have and this is scary because of foxes. Why am I not running Deji now? I completely forgot. Can we steal HP, please? Steal HP. Okay, Smith is dead. He stole HP. And wait, did he jump? I can't remember. But this is the value of Billy. Billy the kid is here. Oh, he missed. And he's dead. That's the foxes. That's the foxes there. Billy's dead again. Wait, they don't have Anpu, right? No, they don't. Oh, Billy's dead. Yeah, okay. Foxes. I want to see the level of this Deji. I definitely do. The foxes killed Carabine. And Deji is at 2 copies. Okay. Yeah, alright. 2 copies. Sure. Not bad. But again, you have to use what you have, especially as a new player. Wait, what? This guy's ridiculous. He has hunters. This is Kara's nightmare here. Yeah, he has hunters. Yeah, this is probably a crazy team. It really is. I could sense it. But Deji's not really gonna help me here. Maybe we should do knockdowns. We don't have enough to trigger the effect. We need a Berg, and we're going against that. Let's put Smith up front. So at least if he dies, then he dies. What can we do? He's gonna die early. Yeah, and they got fear. Yeah, fear is not fun. Fear is really not fun. My goodness. And wait, where did Kara go? Kara's gonna die here. Why is his HP? Wait, who here reduces max HP? Helm slaps. Helm slaps early game. I'm trying to figure out who reduces max HP over there. Does Helm do that? I don't think so. Because I realized that his HP was kind of capped off. But again, there's a competition here, right? I'm just going to do... That's way too much. That guy's ridiculous. And this is more of the hunter combination. Smith basically rules around here, right? Smith, and he has Billy too, which is annoying. So again, Smith is gonna die early. Kara's HP still here. It's just not enough. It's not enough in the beginning. He jumps, and a lot of these units don't have that high HP, right? Exactly. So that's also the other thing. Because a lot of these units don't have high HP, he's not gonna do too well. Smith's just gonna cook him. He steals HP, and it's not really helping. But Billy's over there. Help us out, man. So what I'm realizing, what we would need here is actually dead. He's dead. My goodness, Fox is dead. Either way, we're gonna lose anyways. But look at Smith. Smith just cooks. Even if he dies here. Oh man. Wow. Smith. If that's 1 copy, man, that's impressive. Oh, I thought so. But look, everybody is what? Legendary, immortal. What? Okay. That's what we're up against. So again, stealing HP from Kara isn't always the answer. Let's just do the last 2. We're already here. Let's see. Can we at least get a win? Everybody runs Summoner early game. Smith is on every team. As you can see, everybody is already way up there. That's weird that he prioritized the other units over Deji. I'm surprised he didn't bring on. Maybe he got Deji after the fact. So see, Kara here, because a lot of these units don't have a lot of HP, ends up being counterintuitive, right? Yeah. And look at all the units that are here. Oh my goodness, why is there so much units on the board? Dorelli, oh my goodness, what can we do? Billy's dead. Kara's gonna get stunned. At least there's no Anpu to worry about. That's the best thing about all of this. So since there's no Anpu on, that's what's killing us too. That there, and we don't have an ability to heal too. Hey Fox, do something, please. He's dead. Oh my God, Fox, help me! Thank you. My God. Okay, all right. Come on, Kara, you can do it. I believe in you, Kara. I believe. Oh no. Okay, I thought Deji died. I believe in you. I believe in you. We can do it. We can do it. Yes. This is what I be feeling when I win. Yes. Woo. Man. These fights as a new player. Alright, fine. We'll do the last one just to get on out of here. We can fight him again. Nah, I don't want to fight him again. We already fought him. Let's see. Smith. Aaron. So one thing I realized about Deji is that not Deji. One thing I realized about Carabine is that when he's facing Smith with the slow shooting turret, he actually get packed up, sadly enough. So Lou gives him a little bit of HP there. He's stunned, and that's his biggest weakness too. Outside of time, why are you shooting that way when they're all standing in front of you? Oh my goodness, that was just a terrible shot there. And we're facing Billy too. Oh my God, Billy the bully's at loose. But actually, Kara has the ability. Oh, who's he ignoring? He's just making terrible calls, right? Billy's still alive, so we're still in it. How do we deal with this Aaron guy? He's annoying too. Billy's dead. Billy's still alive. 1v1. 1v. Oh wait, he still has Aaron, which is annoying. Wait, what's happening here? Oh, he's invisible. Don't let him get inside. Oh my goodness. Do not let him get inside of anyone. Wow. Okay. Whew. We won that one. Again, team's not the greatest. We're still, yeah. And we also pushed him out of the top spot. That was one of the top 3 there. Push him out of his spot. Sorry, my guy. But, you know, Dilemma, Aaron, not in no particular order. Dilemma, Aaron, and Smith. Well, actually, they're all here. Let's go here. They're all cooking. Again, I'm trying to get my hands on a copy of Dilemma or Aaron. I don't necessarily know who I want yet, but I'm close. I'm literally, a few away from picking which one I want. I don't care for Jaina right now, and I don't care for Luke. But the question is, do I go for Dilemma? I'm not gonna really build out hunters, and I need an assassin, so I'm gonna go with Aaron and call it quits. As you can see, we're pushing through story very nicely, right? Kara jumps, and then he just beats up on everything because he's a bully like that, right? So out here bullying. The new bully of the account is Kara. In instance where he can steal HP, except for people. So we ain't gonna talk about that. Well, hopefully this video helps, right? And if I miss anything about gearing, right, let me know down in the comments. So if you made it far in the video, the word of the day is bully, right? Kara can bully some people, but again, there are moments where Smith is turned to bully him, which is fine, right? But if you're new around here, we're on our way to 2,000 subscribers. What? Let's go, baby. What? We're almost there. That was a goal for the year. The goal for 2026, I can say it now, is to make Inside Gaming more than just this YouTube channel. That is my goal for next year. To make it more than just a YouTube channel, right? That's the goal, but I like to put it out there. And of course, what do you get? Updates, guides, this new account series. I don't know how long it's gonna go. And if you guys are not giving me feedback, I don't know how long it's gonna go. The more feedback, the more motivated I am to create more videos. All right. Yeah, and hitting that like button too. So for those that are rocking with me, let me know how you feel about the video here. Again, talking about gears, going back to the beginning and explaining it for all of the new players that came into the game. And I feel like the developers, what they need to do is, now that you have new players in the game, revamp the rewards for the older players, and of course the new players will have something to push towards. Because right now I have I'm where I am right now, and because I understand the landscape of the game. Did we get anything? We got one. Let's just pull it. I understand the landscape of the game. Then I realistically have no incentives to push through this, because again, I'm already at the point where I'm like, okay, what exactly would I want to do, right? As a newer player, stories where it's at. Eventually, we'll get to a point where we hit the first boss, and then that's the end of story, because this account cannot beat any of those bosses at that level. So again, without further ado, I want to thank you for watching. Till the next video, peace.